that's really good. And tell me about dogs, cats. So how about them? So do you have?
We have at the moment we have a cat, grand cat, but
Yeah.
a month ago we keep a dog, but we left them in the province. Yeah,
Of
we made some
course.
problems, so we keep them in the province.
Of
And
course.
now we have a cat, 3 fish tank, and
Wow.
and one turtle. One turtle.
Oh, wow. So
My
that's
kids love animal and my husband too, so we have a lot of birds.
yeah, that's really good. It's really good. And how about nature, Helen? So, are you interested in nature as well? And do you do anything to maybe protect, to conserve the environment around you?
I love to live near the nature, especially in Ho Chi Minh City. We don't have a lot of space to live with nature, so we try as much as possible to uh, review and grow a lot of plant in around our apartment in Ho Chi Minh City.
Of course. And what do you think when reading news about environment problems in Vietnam and in the world, of course, not only in your country? So what do you think?
I think that is because the temperature change in the global. Yes, and the Earth temperature is going up, so we face a lot of problems. Yeah,
So you,
especially
yeah,
any very terrible problems.
of course. So human, climate change and global warming. Of course, I do agree with you. So unfortunately, nowadays we're facing problems that the first one, climate change. The earth is getting hotter and hotter every day, and of course, global warming. So, and you know that, so it's getting warm every day. And for example, iceberg, north and south pole are melting. And, we have climate change, storms, and, earthquakes, some natural disasters, unfortunately. And do you think we cause these problems?
Yeah, I think the human is a problem who caused the problems.
Of course, of course. Well, we have a short video about maybe environmental issues. So let's watch this video and then we talk about it, okay? Well, just let me share. Okay, one moment, please. Okay. So what do you think? Yeah, another problem. So that is one of the biggest problems. So what do you think about it? So could you briefly talk? So just
we use a lot of plastic bag and many things from plastic. That's we destroy the earth.
Yeah, of course. And what are consequences of using plastic, you think?
Pardon?
What are the consequences of using plastic? You said that we use and we make a lot of waste every day, and I do agree with you. And what are the consequences of using plastic?
Yeah, that is a plastic bag and plastic bottle. In a lot, we use a lot of fuel for transportation.
Yeah, of course. It's like, so we have some problems, and unfortunately, one of them is making a lot of waste. And you know that we every day make a lot of waste. Just let me share my screen because, we have some words that is not bad to talk about. Just one moment to share the board. Okay.
Oh, sorry. My cat, he come here.
Oh, dear
Come to my computer.
Oh, that's really good. Okay. Well, so let's talk about the first word that is waste. So you know this word, we make waste. But about two words, rubbish and garbage. So because most of students ask me, okay, which one can we use? Both are the same. But in American English, we say garbage. In British English, actually, they use rubbish. So rubbish and garbage. So both are the same, and you can use both of them because just in British English, so they say rubbish and we use, but of course you can say trash that we use in the US. So we use a lot. So there are different words that you can use when talking about waste. Okay. So actually, unfortunately, nowadays, especially, we have some problems, environmental problems, that and maybe how we damage, the way that we damage the environment. The first one is cutting down trees. Do you agree with this problem, with this damage that we are making to the environment? So we say, unfortunately, deforestation or cutting down trees is the first problem. So we say deforestation or cutting down trees. This is the first one. And the next one, unfortunately, illegal dumping. So this is about waste. So we have illegal dump. What is that? Putting waste into a landfill, of course, without permission. So we see that especially, we get lots of news about illegal dumping into the sea. And that a lot of, plenty huge number of sea creatures unfortunately become extinct because of this illegal dumping. So this is another one, putting waste into landfill or the sea, of course, unfortunately, without permission. And we know that, a lot of industries, they do this every day, unfortunately, and they, maybe they harm the environment badly. Okay, let's have a look at a book. The first one, environmental problems. So could you name another problem, environmental problem, or maybe the way that we damage the environment in addition to the two that I mentioned just now?
That is the matter of we destroy the coral reef. At the sea. And we're cutting down a lot of trees and waste a lot of garbage.
Yeah, of course. And you mentioned something after watching video. So you, as I heard and as you mentioned, so we overuse non-renewable resources like oil, gas. Okay, so this is, that we have renewable electricity is renewable. It means we can create, we can generate electricity again. But you know, some actually resources that are non-renewable, so an overuse of non-renewable resources, that is oil or gas, for example. And another one, killing animals, and especially endangered animals illegally. So it's not for, you know, sometimes we have hunting. So of course hunting is not, and it's actually against the rules, illegal in a lot of areas in different countries. But you know, another word that we can use is that we have poaching. And what is that? Poaching is illegal killing, you know, poaching, that is killing, especially endangered animals illegally. Why? For different reasons. So the fur, skin, okay, so they're endangered, but human, of course, we do this. So poaching is another problem. Okay, so we mentioned some serious environmental problems, or you can say issues. So both of them. So they both are the same. So which one do you want to? Okay. And the next word, population. So tell me how population. I want to say the word over, because actually the problem is not with population. The problem is with overpopulation, overuse. So actually the problem is with the word over. Overuse, overpopulation, overeat, overconsume. So tell me how population, overpopulation can damage the environment.
You know, with the population in the big cities, for example, in Ho Chi Minh City, we have to build a lot of buildings, and the transportation is getting worse and worse because of the big population is going up day after day.
Yeah.
And we face a lot of problem in the big city.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, because you know we have actually a big, significant increase in the number of people who live in an area that is overpopulation. So, and it makes, of course, we have light or air, or as you mentioned, noise pollution.
Yeah.
That is really important. We are making the air polluted. The worst transport system, so of course, and yeah, a lot of cars, so everyday traffic, and that is, you know, it's congested, you can move, and of course it makes the air polluted, and noise, and of course light, so overbuilding, and another one, over construction or overbuilding, another problem. So there is no green space, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, rainforest. So, why is it important to protect the rainforest? So, why is it important to protect?
Yeah, the reason that we have to protect the rainforest, because I think that is the lung of the earth. You know, is that can produce oxygen to the earth, and we can make it make is it the environment for many animals in the earth.
Yes. Natural habitat, the place habitat, the place that creatures and animals live. Of course, they are one of the most important natural habitats. Of course, in addition, we have seas and oceans, but here we have rainforests. They are the home of million animals, so that we need to protect protect, or conserve. So this word, normally we use it, conserve means to protect everything. So yeah, I do agree with you. Well, and tell me about animals, endangered animal. So you know that endangered animal is an animal that is in a risk of being or becoming extinct. So how your country, actually the government in your country protect and try to conserve these animals, so endangered animal, actually in order to avoid becoming extinct?
Yeah, the Vietnamese government um, has give some policy of to protect the insect animals. Uh, for example, we have we ban uh, we ban the we don't um, allow to kill animals, or we have to protect it if we um, figure out that any animals are in danger. We have to pronounce it to
Yeah,
the government.
of course. So killing animals, whether it's poaching or hunting, is illegal, and people are not allowed. It's banned.
Yeah.
Human, it's banned. Of course, it's not. It's forbidden, so you are not allowed. That's really good. Well, so as you can see, for this adjective that is extinct, we normally use the word become. Most of the animals, a lot of animals are in danger of becoming extinct in the future. So we need to protect, we need to conserve their natural habitats. Okay, well, and just, let me show you. As you can see, the noun is extinction. That is another problem that we are facing nowadays. So extinction, large number of animals, especially, endangered animals, are becoming extinct. Okay, and on the verge of. So what is the meaning of this one? When something, if something is on the verge of something, you are going to do it very soon, or it's actually likely to happen or begin very soon. So it's likely to happen or begin, likely to happen or begin very soon. So how about this? Unfortunately, so due to the illegal hunting for the herons, rhinos are currently on the verge of. It's really close. It's happening. So on the verge of extinction. Well, okay, so tell me about another animal that so I don't know, maybe species types that you have in your country. So do you know any other animals that are in danger of becoming extinct or on the verge of extinction? Do you know any other animals?
Uh, in Vietnam, the animal are popular like elephants is in the on the verge of extinction.
Ah, elephants.
Number of elephant is reduced. Yeah, worse.
Of course, of course. Well, and this one. So as you can see, we have some words and phrases. So do you want to use them to make some sentences?
Uh, yeah, I know.
Okay, so let's pass. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so the next one, that is idiom. So be in deep water, be in difficulty and trouble. When you are in deep water, so you are in trouble or difficulty. So to be in trouble or difficulty. people in many coastal cities will be in deep water if no actions are taken to reduce the sea pollution. So how to use, I want you to use this idiom to make a sentence.
In deep water. Um, the animal habitats will be in deep water if the human don't care about the warming warming of the global.
Yeah, of course. And here we have another word that is not bad. Actually, you know that because we talked about overpopulation. So we can, unfortunately, we have another one that is growing urbanization. So what is that? It's like, you know, the number of people that is cities growing bigger. Unfortunately, another problem. Growing urbanization is another problem that, you know, unfortunately we are facing nowadays. So it's like, you know, most of people, and why do you think, okay, a lot of people move from rural areas to urban areas to live, to work. So why do you think, what is the issue?
I think it's all to earning for life. Yeah, for
First.
making money. You know, in the rural areas, people can get money as much as they enough to live, so they have to move to city to urban area.
Yeah, of course. And do you think the government should invest on rural life and rural areas in order to avoid actually this problem or this
Yeah,
issue?
of course, the government should do something to prevent the move of people to go to the city
Yeah.
by making the agriculture rule for anybody. Yeah, we can keep and develop the um, agriculture and at rural areas.
Of course. And what is the most populated city in your country?
Um, I think Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi.
Yeah. And what problems so do you face in Ho Chi Minh City due to overpopulation?
We all time face with the problem of air pollution and light pollution and noise pollution,
Of
traffic
course.
jam all of the day.
Of course, congestion. And traffic jam or congestion. If you want, you can use this word. Congestion is traffic jam. So when there are a lot of cars in the street so that they can't move. So congestion or traffic jam, if you want, you can use it.
Yeah.
Well, so let's keep going with the structure of the day. That is really easy. Of course, you know the structure, so how to use comparative and superlative adjectives. So that is really easy. You know that we have short and long adjectives, like for example, 1 or 2 syllable adjectives or more than 2 syllable adjectives. And we have different structures to make comparative or superlative adjectives for these two categories. So the first one, that is short adjectives, 1 or 2 syllable. As you can see, we add er or sometimes r to the end to make and then. But the point is here, you know that we use comparatives to compare two things, two people or something. For example, I don't know, two situations. So we use comparative for two things. And we use superlative to compare one to whole. So the easier one, so longer, for example, I am taller than my sister, so that's really easy. And you know, the point is here about spelling. When the adjective ends in Y, like happy, like healthy, when adding ER, you need to change Y to I, as you can see. People are living longer and healthier life than before. And now when we have more than two-syllable adjectives, like, you know, difficult, important, of course we can't add ER. So we need to use more than, more adjective and than. So more difficult than. For example, math is more difficult than history. So it's really, and here, look, actually this part is maybe an old part. You know this part of structure here. There are more people in China than in the US. More people. Again, we are comparing, but there is no adjective. So we have noun. Less and more. When you talk about large number, you use more. When you talk about few, okay, a little number, so you use less. There is less space than before, so more and less, they're opposite, so you know how to use them. For example, the earth is more polluted. So we have more population, less space, less green space. So there is less green space than before. So this way you can use more and less with noun, not only with adjectives, okay? So this is about comparative. And you know that superlative is different form that for short adjectives, we use ESD, the and ESD. The, for example, prettiest, the longest river. So the and ESD, let me write for superlative. The and adjective, the longest, the tallest. Okay, and for, as you know, for long adjectives more than two syllables, we use the and most and adjective. So we don't use than for superlative because we compare one to a whole. So this is about superlative, but we have regular, irregular adjectives. So for example, for good, the adjective good, as you know, we can't say gooder or goodest, so we need to change it to better. So we call these type of adjectives irregular. Bad, worth, far, further. So these adjectives are irregular adjectives that they need to be changed, okay? And that is really easy. Just let me give you some rules and then we can talk about it again. So as I told you, for some adjectives that, for example, like old, you use ER or ESD for superlative. So that is really easy. You know this one. Okay, oldest, older, than, longer, so they are one or two syllables. And when the adjective ends in E, like nice, just R, nicer, or ST, nicest. Large ends in E, larger, just R. And how? Because when writing, sometimes we double consonant, like big, okay, should be bigger, double consonant. But when, or biggest. So, but what's the rule? When actually an adjective ends in a vowel and a consonant, okay, big, I, vowel, G, consonant, we double the consonant. Fat, A, vowel, T, consonant. So we double the consonant when making comparative or superlative. So when an adjective ends in a vowel and a consonant, we double the consonant. And as I told you, for adjective that ends in Y, we need to change Y to I, like happy, happier or happiest. Silly, sillier with I, like this one. Silly, sillier, silliest. Okay, the silliest, of course, don't forget about using the. And as I told you, when having more than two syllable adjectives like careful, interesting, we use more and most, or less can be used. For example, oh, this movie is less interesting than that. So you can use less, okay? And so about some irregular, good, better, bad, worse. So let me write good, better, and the best. Bad, worse, and the worst. Do you know any other irregular?
Yeah, I know it.
So any other?
Small, smaller, smallest.
Of course, but they are regular. I'm talking about irregular that you need to change. For example, far.
For, further, furthest.
Furthest, of course. And you know that you can write it, the spell of further can be this one. So it's your choice. Both of them are acceptable, further and furthest. Both of them are acceptable, but we normally use the first form, okay? So this is about adjectives and the rules that you need to know. Well, and we have some two-syllable adjectives, okay? Like, for example, handsome, like narrow, like pleasant. Oh, so we should, or polite. Of course, sometimes you can say, for example, we say more polite. Okay, so with some two-syllable adjectives, you can either, so both forms are acceptable, ER or ESD, or more and most. So for some of them, let me give you the list of these adjectives that you need to know. So both forms can be used. For example, we have common, more common, or commoner, so both of them. Or for example, we have pleasant. So we normally say both forms. Or handsome, more handsome or handsomer, both of them. Or for example, if I want to, likely, likelier, or more likely, less likely. Simple, simple, simpler, or more simple. Stupid, for example. More stupid or stupider. So both of them, but normally, of course, both forms are acceptable, but you can use handsomer or more handsome. The politest or the most polite. So it's your choice which one. Okay, you want it.
We have two ways to use these words, but how about the words when we write down in paper and we talk? Is this different to use?
No, let me say no. You mean, for example, when informal language, when talking or writing. So no, it's like, for example, in formal language, so you can use more. It's okay when writing, because it's actually, for example, when I say more polite, it's easier to say. So because of this, I say more. But if I say politer, it's okay. So it's your choice. It's not formal, informal. For example, the narrowest, narrow, okay, narrow, okay, narrowest or the most narrow. Which one you feel comfortable you can use. So it's okay. And for this form of adjective, for these exceptions that, you know, both forms are acceptable, in writing, I myself would prefer more and less or most. I would prefer. But if you use, for example, I normally say more polite. But if you say politer, it's your choice. It's okay. Both forms are acceptable. Yeah. Okay, well, any questions?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so it's your turn to talk. Let's make some sentences. Let's compare actually these photos. So as you can see, 2009 and 2019. So we have different habitats, different locations, and let's compare them using comparative.
Mm, uh, the seas, the beaches is now uh, um, worse than 10 years before because of the population.
Because of not population, overpopulation. As I told you, the problem is with over. Population means the number of people who live in an area. But when we say over, means too many people. So the problem is with over, due to overpopulation. Okay? And the next one, we have forest.
The animal habitat is changing worse and worse uh, because the warming earth
Yeah.
problems.
Of course. So it's like they become worse, yeah, than before, or they have become worse than before. So of course, well, and let me say something because we have a word. You know that for some reasons we are making land dry. We are making, we are causing actually forest turn to desert maybe, and how to use, we have a word and we say the certification that is making land dry and like a. So you can use, when talking, you can use this word. So this is another actually problem. Okay, well, and so for example, the earth, yeah,
The earth is warming um, and it uh, is warming day after day.
yeah, of course. And we can say, for example, in, as we can see in this photo, so we can say the earth is getting, so is warmer than before, is
Yeah.
warmer than before. So we can use, yeah, of course, is getting, as you said, is getting warmer, of course. And as you said, the animals
The animal
are,
is more difficult. Uh, is more difficult to find food than before. More
uh,
difficult.
so find, you can say Nazi. So you, if you want to make yours, you can say this way. Finding food or feeding is more difficult than before. But
Yeah.
for animals, but you know, actually putting the animals at the beginning is not good. Okay, well, and now we have an audio, so let's listen. Listen to radio and decide whether the statements are true or false. Okay, so if you're ready, let's listen.
Unit 9. Nature. Recording 1. Welcome to Save the Planet, where we talk about the world's environmental problems. Now, did you know there are more than 6 billion people on the planet? And by 2050, there might be more than 9 billion. People are living longer and healthier lives than ever before. But a big population means big problems for the planet. Let's look at three of the most important problems. The first problem is water. Many people in the world can't get enough water, but in some countries we use too much. A person in Gambia, Africa, for example, uses much less water than someone in the United States. In Gambia, one person uses 4.5 litres of water a day. But in the US, it's 600 litres. And to make the problem worse, the deserts are getting bigger. The Sahara Desert is one of the hottest places in the world and is already the largest desert. But each year it gets bigger than before, so it gets more difficult to find clean water. Our second problem is the animals. There are more people on the earth than ever before. This means we use more space. And for the animals, this means that there is less space than before. One example is the Amazon rainforest. It has the highest number of plant and animal species in the world, but it's getting smaller every year. People are destroying the rainforest to make more space for houses, roads, and farms. In the last 10 years, we have destroyed more than 150,000 square kilometers of forest. That's an area larger than Greece. So in the future, many plants and animal species will become extinct. And the last problem on our list, but not the least important, is the weather. The world is getting warmer. The ice in Greenland is melting faster than ever before, and on Mount Everest there is less snow every year. Also, sea levels are rising. This means that soon, some of the world's most important cities, like New York, London, Bangkok, Sydney, and Rio de Janeiro, might all be underwater.
Well, number one.
Number one, by 2050, there might be more than 9 billion people on the planet.
Very good. Number two.
False.
Very
good. Is true. The information is exactly.
Of course.
And the third is false. The deserts are getting smaller, bigger.
Of course, very good.
So four false, because people destroy the rainforest to make more space for houses, roads, and farms.
Very good.
And number five is false. On Mount Everest, there is less snow every year.
Of course, and six.
The last is true. Some of the world's most important city might be underwater.
Yeah, of course. So you said false. Some of the world's most important might be underwater. Is false or true?
It's true.
It's true, of course. I heard true. Okay, well, very good. And now let's talk again. So I want to ask you another question. Of course, we talked about problems, but you yourself, what can we do to protect the environment? So for example, what do you do to protect the environment?
We reduce to use plastic, for example, and protect the animal habitat.
Of course. So let's say, for example, you said that plastic, and I do agree. And I want to say that I try not. I say I try not to use, okay, disposable
items, plastic items.
Example, yeah, such as coffee cups in Starbucks, of course, so we don't use. So, and the other word, just let me say something. If you heard the word strive means try. So they are the same. So you may hear this word. And of course, do you recycle? So tell me, let me ask about, so do your country, do you normally recycle rubbish, garbage, and waste in your country?
Yeah, of course, we have um, some um, way to recycle the plastic bag to make it another use,
Yeah.
or we can use
Yeah.
the recycle. For example, we use uh, leaf to wrap the vegetable or something like that.
Yeah. Of
Reduce
course.
the use of plastic.
Of course. And how you actually teach how to train your kid
Yes,
not
and
to, yeah, of course, in
also
what way?
make education program in school to
Yes.
yeah to solve the problem.
So, for example, so do you have any methods at home so that your kid learn how to save water, for example?
Yeah, we use a recycle bottle, or we avoid to use plastic items at home.
Of
Or we
course.
can yeah, and the most way we can apply that is to reuse and
Yeah.
not waste the plastic items.
Of course. And I think the most important that we normally do at home is to turn the tap off when we don't. For example, when brushing the teeth. So of course you don't need to, I don't know, leave tap runs. So just you can easily tap it off. And then when you need it again, turn it on. So you can use this phrasal verb. So turn taps on or off. So what is this? Or off. So these two. So let water runs or stop it. So turn taps on and off. This is actually one of the most important thing that we can do. So we can use turn on, turn off for lights, for a tap. So this way you can use. Okay. Well, and let me ask about this one. What are the consequences of global warming, you think?
Um, yeah, I think it's because the most is uh, the increase in population.
Yeah, of course. And tell me, for example, when going to the beach, okay, if you find there, I don't know, polluted, like there are lots of something like trash is on the beach. So do you pick them up?
Yeah, is if it's is on my way to, I will pick it up.
So
So and teach to my kid to do so.
So what we can do, we can clean up beaches. So
Yeah.
make it clean. Why not? Of course. And well, let's talk about, so we talked about big environmental problems in Vietnam. So that is the first one. So you said it's traffic and air pollution. Okay. But about this one, is it right? Rivers and beaches are full of garbage?
Yeah, it's true. In
Ah,
yeah, in many parts of Vietnam, especially the
yeah,
province city, we have water pollution and
of,
uh, yeah,
yeah.
river is pollute. Yeah.
Polluted. Polluted is adjective, yeah. Pollute is verb, so polluted. And so tell me about a government. So actually, any actions taken by government? So like no action, just
Yeah, of course, the government had done um, some policy to ban the problem to ban people to make the pollution, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth.
Yeah, of course. And let me ask another question about raising awareness, because we know that, for example, the first step maybe to improve something is to raise awareness, people and public awareness. Do you think running campaigns to raise public awareness about, I don't know, environmental problems is a good way to protect the environment?
Um, I think that's just the way of marketing.
Of
It's not
course.
worth. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Big,
people should be educated in
yeah,
any any uh, uh, anything we do. Yeah.
yeah, of course. And tell me about actually vegetarian diet. Do you think vegan or vegetarian diet is a good way? So, for example, eating vegetarian diet is a good way to protect the environment.
Uh, yeah, I know it, but it depends. I don't think so.
Yeah, of
And,
course, I do agree with
and
you.
we can eat meat or fish, but we uh, know how to protect the earth, so it's good.
Of course. So as we talked, actually the problem with over consume or
Yeah.
overuse of everything. So it can be meat, meat product, or vegetables. Well, and the next one. So tell me about people nowadays, especially. Are people concerned about problems, environmental problems in your country?
Yeah, I think people are care about the environment to live,
Yeah.
especially people in the city, in the big city. We need more space, more green space. Yeah,
Yeah,
more plan to live
of
for
course.
healthier life.
So that's really good. And so just people in big cities, so you know the definite article there. So later I will teach you how to use definite article and when we use the and when we don't use it. So in big city, when you refer general words, so you don't need like just big cities. In the it's like you refer to specific, special one. So it's your choice. So if you want to talk about specific, the city or big cities. So I will tell you later, maybe at the next session, I will tell you the rules about the use of definite and indefinite article. Okay, and the last question. So tell me if these problems, all these problems, for example, traffic jam, that is one of the problems that nowadays people are facing in your country. If these problems affect people's lives in your country and how?
Um, yeah, the most the most uh, problem I find out that is that people health is concerned that the air pollution or air or pollute the environment cause some disease. For example, cause cancer. Yeah,
Of
it's a
course.
big problem in the city.
Yeah, of course, in cities, of course. Well, okay, my dear Helen. So it's your turn if you have any questions related to this topic, words, phrases that we just discussed.
Yeah, no,
Okay, my dear. So again, thank you. It's time
thank you.
off and we need to go. So it's really good time with you again. Happy to see you again and have a great and fruitful week.
Yeah, me too, and you too.
Thank
Yeah,
you so
thank you.
much. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.
Goodbye.